And then
Charlie Reeder
to my left, and then to my right. So we're back with another edition of Sports Block, and I'm Griff Barlow. Alongside me,
Charlie Reeder
and
Harrison Eaton.
And tonight should be a good game, as the Bengals will be facing off versus Middle Creek, and it's your everyday or every year rivalry game that each team really looks forward to, and it really should be a great game. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it should be a good game. Middle Creek not doing so well this season, coming into the game at 0-4, but this is where it can all start again for them. This is their first conference game of the season. Fuquay's coming in at 1-4. They played their first conference game just a couple nights ago where they lost to Holly Springs, so they're more in that conference feeling, but this will be Middle Creek's first.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams are off to a struggling start. I mean, I hope that both teams hope to get back in the groove and start this conference season off with a win.
Yeah, for sure. So last night, Middle Creek lost to Panther Creek by 13, which may seem like a negative, but really should be a positive for this team, as last time they had gotten blown out on their own court by Panther Creek. But it really should be a great game tonight, as Fuquay came off a 40-point loss to Holly Springs, and as I said, Middle Creek coming off a 13-point loss. So it really should be an interesting game to see who can rebound first. So at the tip-off, we have number 30, Sam Perez, and number 21, Ryan Maslow. So the ball will go Middle Creek's way, out to Pugh, and then now with Suggs, as he will patrol the court. Now to Kiyaku and back to Perez for a deep three, and it will bank off the front of the rim. So Baker with the rebound. Now
Middle Creek looks to start out their defense in a 2-3.
In the hands of Kaiser. And Kiyaku playing great defense. Switches on to Kaiser. So Perez also playing great defense out on the perimeter, but allowing 21 to get inside, and he will get his first basket of the game. That was Ryan Maslow.
Kiyaku makes his way up to the court.
Great
finds Perez inside for two.
So 2-2 right now with 7 minutes left. So we're just 1 minute to this game here.
Yeah, Middle Creek is coming out with looks to be a 4 sophomore starting lineup. We got Perez, Pugh, St. Hill, and
so Kiyaku, and it'll be a wedgie, as commonly referred to. But
Middle Creek early trying to work on that fast-paced offense. That's how they got their first points. I think that's what they're going to be looking for tonight.
As Harrison, you were mentioning, they do have 4 sophomores out there. St. Hill getting his first start of the year, and really of his career. But Suggs, Perez, and Pugh will all be returning starters, and this will be their second home game, or third home game, I should say, of the year.
Yeah, it's always good to get those young guys, and these young guys were most of the producers last year on the team, but it's always good because these guys are going to be your program in the future.
So Suggs will be called for the travel, as he had made a good move to get inside, but will be called off.
It was also a nice job by Sam Perez finding him out. Came inside from the perimeter for a good look pass.
So 32, that would be Caleb Timmons with the ball. Out to Baker, who will miss a 3. But stripped by Kiyaku, out to Pugh. Pugh will pass inside to Perez, and it looks like he will set up the offense. Or maybe take the ball inside himself and score off a driving layup.
A very good layup by Sam Perez, who's leading this team with almost 16 points per game this year. He's done a very good job for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Perez having a great sophomore campaign so far, as he's really just looking to build on last year's performances. So St. Hill beat up on Dockery, but that will be a turnover on the Bengals, so it will be going back the other way.
Yeah, Bengals looking a little bit sloppy off the start, but it's always early, and they hope to fix that later in the game.
Right. So Suggs will be taking the ball up the court. Pugh at the high screen, kick out to Kiyaku in the corner, back to Suggs. Now to Perez on the left side of the court. almost a travel, but wasn't called. Now St. Hill inside. Now will be blocked by Dockery. Now a jump ball, and it will go back to the Mustangs. So great hustle by Kyaku. Or, was it Kyaku or St. Hill?
I believe it was
St. Hill, he missed the layup, but he did a good job making sure he could get that ball back for the jump ball, and possession error will change.
So good pass inside, but Pew can't handle it, and he has 3 Bengals on him, but will call for the jump ball, and now it will go Fuquay's way.
Now it looks to be a huge group substitution.
So all 5 being subbed out, all 5 starters. It's a bold move by Coach Cunningham.
Checking in will be Tankowitz, Wheeler. We also have Ruiz.
Ray.
We have Ray. And
Tyler
number
Carpenter.
5, Tyler Carpenter.
Swing out to number 21, Parker Morrison. But the ball juggled around, and Fuquay running into his own player.
And Dockery with the travel.
And so Dockery looking a little uncoordinated there, but telling Timmons that it's okay, just got to pick it up a little bit.
The new Mustangs lineup does a good job forcing that turnover, and it's surprising to see Tyler Carpenter not get the start. He's got 15 points a game this year, but he should be leading out this new starting 5 for the Mustangs. And here he is with the ball now.
So Carpenter with the ball out to Ruiz, and out to Ray and to Tankowitz. So it looked as if number 22, Parker Morrison, who is also a quarterback for Fuquay, he attempted to take the charge, but will be called for a blocking foul. So Carpenter will inbound to Tankowitz, and the ball will be fizzed around.
And Tyler Carpenter did step out of bounds.
Fuquay ball with 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go. And a low-scoring game so far. But Baker taking the ball out. Good inbound pass to Kaiser. Kaiser.
And a good block by Wheeler, and he's going to set up the offense.
So Ray dribbled off his foot, and that will be going back to the Bengals.
Both teams looking very sloppy with the basketball, but as long as it's going both ways, then it's going to be that way all game without a dominant performance by either team.
So Baker to pass in. Out to Kaiser. Back to Baker now. Out in the corner to Morrison. Missed corner 3. Rebound Ruiz, who stares off Wheeler. Go to Carpenter, now to Wheeler. Back to Ruiz, to Ray, Tankowitz.
Great ball movement from the Mustangs.
And as Charlie just said, they're really fizzing the ball around well. Now to Carpenter, great three-point shooter. Passes up on the 3 to pass to Wheeler. And that will go off the backside of the rim as Fuquay will get the rebound. And it looks like number 25, Tyrek Street, will initiate the offense here. So pass inside to Kaiser, who will be called for a travel and another big group substitution for Middle Creek.
We've seen multiple turnovers on each team now. Only 4 minutes left in this first quarter, but still a 4-2 game.
Subbing in for Middle Creek will be Perez, Suggs, Pugh, and we have Kyaku.
They keep Tyler Carpenter on the court. Here's
Perez
with the
corner
3.
3 will be missed. So he's
This
over
is
2 so far.
This is typically the starting lineup we see on a regular basis. So hopefully Middle Creek can get their groove on and hopefully create a run.
Kaiser with the deep 3, but that will be missed. So Pugh with his first rebound of the night. And Perez will be dribbling the ball up the court. And a kick out to Kyaku, who had second thoughts about the 3. But now we'll go to Perez, who will take the shot, but we blocked. And now Morrison moving the ball. But it will be blocked out of bounds. But the refs are saying that it is Mustang ball.
And I think we've seen a lot of hesitation from the Mustangs, especially from the perimeter, going for a lot of fake shots, which they've had good ball movement, but maybe they should take those because they only got 4 points.
All 4 points, courtesy of Sam Perez.
Suggs just misreading Perez. And so far, that's really been the story, as it is still 4-2 with 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go. Quite an unusual score, but not something you don't expect to see, I guess, from a struggling offense.
Exactly.
For both sides.
Middle Creek all year has shown that full court press, and it hasn't helped them yet with their 0-4 record, but then again, they have played some difficult, very well teams.
Right.
But hopefully they keep on that defensive pressure to carry on the win here.
Here's Perez on the perimeter.
Perez passes out to Suggs. Suggs for the deep three. That'll be an air ball. And the student section is going to let him hear that, as Baker will be taking the ball out, with his options being Street and Kaiser in the backcourt. Passes to Kaiser, nearly out of bounds, now stolen by Kiyaku. That'll be an easy layup. So Kiyaku getting his first points of the night, a 4-year starter, or a 4-year varsity player. And we'll be going to timeout. So you've been listening to the Sports Block. We'll be right back. So we are back with a 6-2 Mustangs lead, as both offense have been struggling so far. And before the ball can even be inbounded, it looks like a warning has been issued by the ref on Street and Carpenter. So a steal by Suggs. Great pass to Kiyaku, who can't finish the layup, and the ball will be knocked out by Street.
And that was almost a replay of the play we just saw earlier with the turnover with Kiyaku down low. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it this time, but I'm sure Mustangs will be happy with another turnover.
So Suggs to take the ball out.
Middle Creek lined up in the box formation to inbound the ball. Suggs kicks out to Perez.
Kiyaku now at the top of the key, guarded heavily by Street. Now to the right wing. Suggs guarded by Rosa. Now to Perez, back to Kiyaku in the corner for three, but that'll be missed. Tipped around and rebounded by Suggs. Now inside by Kiyaku, and he will get two. And another steal by Suggs.
Finds Perez.
Inside to Perez, fighting for his baskets. And Kiyaku with another layup. So they're really capitalizing on these turnovers.
Yeah, Fuquay really struggling to get out of their own half. And another turnover.
So
here's Pugh.
By Pugh, he goes all the way, and one. Pugh will capitalize off the steal, and Middle Creek now up 10-2.
And it's an 8-0 run for Middle Creek.
Actually, correction, 12-2. So Middle Creek really bringing some energy into the building for, I think it's easy to say, for the first time all year, as Pugh will go to the rebound for one shot. So rebounded by Maslow. Kicked out to Street. Street will go inside for two. And get it. So now Middle Creek pushing the ball up the court as they initiate the offense. And now Kiyaku on the left wing. Looking to start something here.
He finds Suggs, who goes cross-court to Perez, and back to Kiyaku for the three.
Kiyaku will be missing that three. Rebounded by Morrison. And out to Rosa. So Rosa trying to put the moves on Carpenter. Carpenter guarding well. Now the ball will go to Kaiser on the perimeter on the corner, but it will be called a blocking foul. So the ball will stay on the court, as Middle Creek's only committed 2 fouls. Actually, I believe that might be their first one. Street with the ball, out to Rosa, almost stolen by Suggs.
Ooh.
And tough hit.
Physical play, but both players are all right.
Carpenter went for the steal. Risky play. You know, that could really hurt someone. He knows it too.
Yeah, it looked like his feet came out under him and his back hit the floor. Those have been the two that have been going at it. Not at it all night, but they've been a little chippy.
Right. So Street Now guarded up on Carpenter. And the ball fizzle around to Rosa, who looked like he wanted to take a jump shot but gave the ball up. And now Suggs will be bringing up the court out to Pugh. Pugh up and will get 2. So with 37 seconds, the Middle Creek Mustangs will be leading 14-4 as 32 will sub in. 32, that is Caleb Timmons. Street, the inbounder. Passing to Rosa. So that's a travel by Timmons.
Well, great steals right now, and rebounds by Middle Creek is what's putting Middle Creek up at the moment. Ball handling by Fuquay-Varina is what's putting the Bengals behind, and fouling is a flaw by both teams at the moment. It's early in this game, and things can most definitely change. We will see if so. This is John Kaprevich on the sideline. Back to you guys up there.
Okay, thank you, John. Appreciate that. So now Kiaku looking to make a play. Pass to Suggs. Now pass to Perez for 3. And he is now 0 for 3 for threes. As Fuquay throws up a prayer and will be missed. So for some of our sponsors tonight, the Butcher's Market, the go-to butcher shop in the Triangle for premium meats and specialty grocery. Fritz Orthodontics, offering outstanding orthodontic care for the entire family. The Removal Company can haul your junk and debris, anything, anywhere, anytime. So the Mustangs are up 14-4, and we will be right back with the Sports Blog. So we're back for the second period of this game as the Mustangs have a commanding lead in 14-4. So not a high-scoring game for either team, really, but especially for Fuquay-Varina as they've only scored 4 points, which would put them on pace for barely over single digits.
And you see the Mustangs second team coming out to start the second quarter. They got a good 10-point lead after the first.
Wheeler passing up the 3 out to Ray. Ray being double-teamed. Out to Wheeler in the corner, now up to Ruiz. As Ruiz will dribble around Street, out to Tankowitz. Now to Ray, and Ray will make his first 3 of the game. That'll be his first points of the game as well. So Kaiser will maintain the ball for Fuquay. Passes to Street, heavily guarded by Jose Ruiz. But rebounded by Ray. And good moves by Ruiz on Street.
Ruiz does a nice job getting up the court. He's going to find Tankowitz.
For sure.
For travel.
So that travel will give the Bengals back the ball.
Turnovers on both sides are affecting them. Number 24, James Johnson, will be checked in.
Rose is taking it up the court, defended by Ruiz. Looking for a cut, but can't find it, but a nice crossover. Ends up with a Street 3, and it will be missed.
Over the back foul will be called on number 21, Maslow. So that will go back the Mustangs' way. And with a 17-4 lead, the Mustangs will maintain possession of the ball.
And this Mustangs, almost second roster, this set of 5 have done really well tonight. I don't think they've given up 1 point on the court.
St. Hill with the unintentional pass to Wheeler, who will miss his 3. And a slow pass out to Street, who will pass inside, but it will get tipped away by Ruiz. That pass was intended for Timmons.
Great job, Ruiz, going full court from the offensive, getting back for the steal to force the turnover. Or not the turnover, but
I believe that St. Hill thought it was a turnover as well, but Street will take the ball out as he'll pass him for Rosa, but he'll slip on the court, and it'll go back to Middle Creek. A lot of turnovers this game so far, especially for Fuquay, and they're just struggling, to say the least.
Yeah, Middle Creek has 5 steals on the night, all coming in the first quarter.
and I think where the Mustangs have been getting their points are just straight off those turnovers. And that's why they're doing so well tonight. Fuquay's not making the most of those steals where the Mustangs are.
A foul will be called on number 21, I believe. 21, that is Maslow, Ryan Maslow of Fuquay. So Ray will take 2 shots here. Converting on his first one.
Middle Creek with a big substitution with Perez, Kiaku, Carpenter, and Pugh coming in. Keeping the free throw shooter Ray in.
So Ray will take a second free throw shot after his first one, which was successful. And he will make both. So Suggs will now come in for Ray.
Parker Morrison will also be coming on for Maslow. And inbounding this for Fuquay will be Timmons.
So good time by Fuquay, or good play this time by Fuquay, I should say. So Rosa left open, but passes up the 3, as I don't think he was expecting to be that open. But now Street will initiate the offense. But he would be guarded heavily by Kiaku, as Timmons will be on Pugh. Or Pugh on Timmons, I believe.
Fuquay just looking for a confidence booster bucket here.
So Rosa airballing a shot, his layup, and it will be rebounded by Kiaku. Out to Perez, and he will have a great dunk on the other end of the court.
And Sam Perez gets this Mustangs crowd up and running.
And oh my gosh, a great block by Perez, but it will be called a jump ball. Just really getting the fans into this game. But Perez really doing it on both ends. As Harrison mentioned earlier, he's just a sophomore, so he'll be here much longer.
And it will be Fuquay's ball because the possession arrow has flipped to Fuquay. As that last play was not a block, it was a jump ball.
I mean, that's probably the best player of the year we've seen so far, honestly.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys can agree with that.
Yes, from ones that I've witnessed. I mean, I have not attended any away games, but.
So that will be a steal by Pugh. And now Perez will shoot the 3, and he will miss another 3 tonight, but a push off by Yak.
Now, I will tell you that Suggs, from games that I've watched, has been tremendous at drawing that charge and making key plays for Middle Creek to get that ball back.
Yeah, from last year, Sean Gillisley, who set the school record for most charges in 1 year with, I believe it was 36, which actually broke the team record as well. But Suggs really taking in that role as being that defensive guy drawing a lot of charges.
Kiaku's going to miss the mid-ranger, and Rosa will take it up for Fuquay. A forced pass, and that's another turnover.
Another
Rosa's
steal
had
by
several
Pugh.
tonight.
And a finish by Kiaku. He's had many of those tonight, as I believe he's getting close to double digits now. And that will be a turnover by Street. And Middle Creek is starting to pick up a lot more momentum as they have a nearly 20-point lead on the Bengals.
And Fuquay is just not getting anything going. This game was 4-2 for a while, and now 23-4 with around 5 minutes left in this half.
Yeah, 21-0 run is pretty incredible, and one that Middle Creek needs if they want to hang on to the lead.
So Carpenter will be fouled by Baker.
That will be Fuquay's 6th foul tonight.
I believe that should be. I mean, that will not be a one-on-one, a one-and-one. It will stay on the floor. Perez wide open, wants the ball, but passes it up to Suggs, who makes a great move inside. On Morrison, great pass, but a block by Yak. But Kiaku will maintain the ball, passes Suggs. Misses the 15-footer. Rebounded by Street, and he will push the ball up the court to Baker. Baker, bad pass inside, stolen by Suggs. Suggs looking up court to Perez, and he will finish with another great dunk, his second of the game, and the Mustangs are loving it. So Middle Creek now up 25-4, and you've been listening to the Sports Block. We'll be right back. So we're back with a really exciting game, to say the least. As Sam Perez, you can quite honestly say, has taken over this game for the Mustangs, playing both great defense and offense to put Middle Creek in the position they're in.
Yeah, Perez has done a really good job making this game the 21-point lead that the Mustangs have, and Mustangs are sticking to that same 5-person lineup.
So Yak going up the court and missing the easy layup, but passed out to Street after the rebound by Morrison. And so Street will take a hard shot and it will not fall, as Pugh will grab his third rebound of the game.
We're seeing a lot of forced shots from Fuquay.
And I must add, and watching the Holly Springs versus Fuquay game last night, Fuquay looked to do the same exact thing. They just forced way too many shots and shot way too many threes, not running their actual offense and getting a groove.
Number 15, Colton Bailey, will check into the game.
Fuquay just going to try to get some switch, so hopefully Bailey can do something for them, but they have not been able to get a point since first quarter.
Yeah, early on in the first quarter. Middle Creek is currently on a 23-0 run.
Pull up by Perez, and that will be missed. Perez will grab his rebound, though, and go up for the layup, but that will be missed as well. So it'll be taken in by
Bailey
number
will be
15,
taking it
Colton
up the
Bailey.
court. Bailey trying to get something going for Fuquay, but don't see a lot of movement from the players without the ball.
Bailey will pass to Timmons. Timmons for three, and that will go out. Fuquay struggling with their jump shots everywhere. Suggs dribbling inside, pass out to Perez. Perez will pass it with three out to Carpenter, now to Suggs again, but that would be called a travel.
Another huge group substitution for Middle Creek.
Going to see Ruiz, St. Hill, Ray, Cooper Land, and Logan Wheeler coming on the court. A whole new set of five.
So Coach Cunningham's done this a lot tonight. Why do you think he's really done this? Or I should say, what do you think has driven him to think this might be the best option for him?
I think one thing is, one, getting those guys experience, and two, obviously getting those guys rest. But overall, their second group and their first group have been playing good after both of them not allowing any points for a solid 10 minutes here.
Yeah, I agree. So Land will be called for his first foul, but it will not be a shooting foul, so Baker will inbound the ball.
And that's something the Mustangs have done well tonight. Only 3 fouls with only 3 minutes left in the half, so they haven't had to worry about foul trouble at all.
It will be an offensive foul on number 15, Colton Bailey. He gave a shove to number 15, Ruiz.
So Bailey showing a little aggression here as he tried to plead his case just to create space, but you only think that's malicious intentions.
Looks like a possible injury for Brandon Kiyaku, maybe in the eye, as the Mustangs take it up the court.
So the ball will be moved around well here. So St. Hill will be blocked inside by Timmons, and that will be a jump ball. And it looks like it will stay with Middle Creek. as yeah, it will stay with Middle Creek.
Yeah, knowing Xavier
Actually-
St. Hill personally, he's not one to be that aggressor, but
Right. Things change on the court. So actually, the possession arrow will be going Fuquay's way. So Baker will be the inbounder.
And Fuquay, they just got to almost go with a basic mindset of basketball. They haven't got points in I can't remember how long. With a nice pass, and there's their points.
So Timmons getting 2 points inside. First points of the quarter with 2 minutes left. That's something you don't want to hear if you're a Bengals fan. But Ruiz and Ray will be moving the ball around the perimeter here.
Middle Creek again with 3 sophomores out on the court. You got Wheeler, Land, and St. Hill.
And a nice connection between those sophomores. Logan Wheeler with a nice find to Cooper Land.
So Yak taking up the court against Wheeler, but Wheeler be called for the foul. Just Middle Creek's 4th foul of the half.
Fuquay got points on their last possession with a nice little up-court quick pass and layup, so I'm sure they're going to look for that again, but Middle Creek's going to try to prevent those quick plays.
So the ball will be moved around, end up in Bailey's hands. Bailey will take a shot, and what looked like a block was called a foul, so Bailey will go to the line for 2 shots.
I mean, it looked like Wheeler had his hand right on the ball. I don't know where the foul is there,
Yeah,
but
he could have bumped him in on the side, but then again, we're not there, and I respect the call, but Middle Creek still holding on to that 21-point lead. So Bailey can't make the first one.
and I'm pretty sure that's the first free throw attempt that Fuquay's seen all night.
And we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, John. John, what do you have for us?
Well, I can't tell you guys enough how much the Mustangs defensively and offensively have improved as we're nearing halftime. Great passing, dribbling, rebounds, and shots are on point. Fuquay is still finding ways to get points up on the board as the offense and defense equally struggle. We'll see what happens after the half. This is John Kaprevich on the sideline. Back to you guys up there.
Hey, thanks, John. So Yak passes up the court to 21, who is Maslow. He will get the 8th point of the night for Fuquay, as Ray will be bringing up the court. And a steal by Bailey. Bailey will go inside, but they will call that a foul on Ray.
Bailey's pumped up after that, going back to the line.
So 2 shots coming for Bailey. So he will make his first free throw.
Middle Creek with another big substitution here. Kiaku, Suggs. It will be Carpenter, Perez, and Pugh.
So both free throws will be made by Bailey, as Middle Creek now has a 27-10 lead. So still 17 points, and Bailey will be called for the foul.
That will be Fuquay's 8th foul.
So I believe it's 2 shots. But it actually was a 1-on-1, but Suggs will get the 2 shots as he drains his first one.
Perez and Pugh down low for that offensive rebound if a miss comes, but they don't have to worry about that.
So both made. And now Baker will try to pass it in, but it will be stolen by Kiaku. He will miss his layup. That's happened so many times tonight, you almost expect it to happen every time.
Suggs showing great defensive pressure. He has 3 steals on the night.
Maslow working his way inside and getting 2. So the last 2.5 minutes have been good for Fuquay, scoring, I believe,
8 points.
8 points. Yeah. So
Yeah, it hasn't been as if Fuquay's been dominating, but they've just been doing much better than what we saw for the first 20 minutes of the game.
definitely on a positive run now compared to earlier. Baker will be called for the foul, and it will send Carpenter, who is an exceptional free throw shooter, to the line, as that is the 9th foul of the night against the Bengals.
Carpenter working to extend the Mustangs' 17-point lead. He's just going to miss that one.
So Bailey up the court to Baker for 3, and he will make it. That will be the Bengals' first 3 of the night with 30 seconds left in the first half. So the ball will be moved around well by the Mustangs here, ending up in Kyaku's hands. Now to Suggs. Suggs fakes to Perez. The ball will be stripped out, but will stay with Middle Creek.
And there's that good ball movement that I was talking about earlier. We didn't see it for a while, but good job there, and it leads to continuation of the Mustangs ball. Mustangs will end the half. They got 10 seconds left to shoot. Score 29-15.
Carpenter open 3, and that will be made as that will end the quarter, end the half as well. And the dance team will be performing at halftime, but before we go to that, we have some sponsors to read. The Butcher's Market, the go-to butcher shop in the Triangle for premium meats and specialty grocery. Fritz Orthodontics, offering outstanding orthodontic care for the entire family. The Removal Company can haul your junk and debris, anything, anywhere, anytime.
We'd also like to thank Southwake Oral Surgery, delivering the finest state-of-the-art oral surgical care possible, every day to every patient. From oil changes to engine replacement, they fix all makes and models. Christian Brothers Automotive. Our halftime show is sponsored by Gladwell Orthodontics. A healthy, attractive smile is an important part to our lives at any age. Gladwell Orthodontics strives to set the standard with quality orthodontic care and offers a wide range of services. Smile more with Gladwell Orthodontics.
And our halftime show is sponsored by Gladwell Orthodontics. A healthy, attractive smile is an important part of our lives at any age. Gladwell Orthodontics strives to set the standard in quality orthodontic care and offers a wide range of services. Smile more with Gladwell Orthodontics.
we're back with the third period between the Middle Creek Mustangs and the Fuquay-Varina Bengals. Middle Creek with a pretty commanding lead, 32 to 15 at the start of this third period, but Fuquay really closed the half well, scoring about 10 or 12 right before the half ended in the last 2 or 3 minutes. So we'll like to look to see how they build off of that.
And Middle Creek going with that lineup that they're used to, except for St. Hill's also getting the start for this quarter as he has the ball now.
St. Hill trapped in the corner, trying to get the ball up, but that will be stolen by Maslow. Pushed up to Yak. Yak will go up for 2 and will convert the layup.
Fuquay's done well recently. You see Yak on that layup, and they've cut it to 15, which may not sound great, but it was a lot worse.
So St. Hill inside, kicks out to Pugh, who eventually works the ball all the way around to Perez, but Perez will throw the ball over Pugh's head. So a little miscommunication there, and Fuquay's come out a lot better than they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, not definitely the best start to second half for Middle Creek, but Fuquay's going to try to take advantage of those turnovers.
Yeah, Middle Creek's defensive pressure has been good all night on the night. They have 7 steals and a block to add to that.
So Yak will be going to the line for 2. So Will Yak, his first year on varsity. And the first one will be converted.
And Yak's done pretty well tonight. He seems like a simple shooter. He's made his free throws that we've seen tonight, and he made the first one there. And he will knock down the second one.
Yeah, he's a pretty crafty guy. He gets inside really well. But Suggs showing off his football background as catching a ball over 2 guys and keeping the ball even though they were still fouled. So 1 foul apiece for both of these teams as Perez will be taking the ball out.
Suggs going to find Kiyaku, switching the side.
So Kiyaku will dribble around, heavily guarded by Bailey, as Suggs will take it inside off the top of the backboard. So it will go towards Fuquay. Ball will go back towards Fuquay's way.
He was looking for a foul there. Looked a little, not injured, but a little worn out after that play, but didn't get the foul he was looking for.
So Bailey bringing up the court. Bounce pass to Maslow, who gives up the layup, which will be stolen by Perez.
Yeah, Maslow was looking for that, almost that no-look pass. Probably could have taken the layup himself, though.
Yeah, I think he heard the footsteps behind him, assuming it was a teammate, but there were 2 Mustangs there, and the ball got stolen.
So a steal by Bailey. As he will go to Timmons, back to Yak. Yak will go inside on Pugh, and will eventually draw the foul, and will go to the line for 2 once again.
And Fuquay's done well. They brought this in within 13 points, and I think one of the key reasons that is Colton Bailey. We did not see much of him in the first quarter at all. I think when he came in, Fuquay was down around 21 points, but he's done pretty well at the point guard position.
Yeah, definitely. He came in and brought that intensity that we've seen. He started off a little feisty with Ruiz out when he first checked in, and then that almost seemed like a spark to spark their offense as they closed the second half very well, or first half, excuse me, very well.
Yak missing both of his free throws, even after he had made both on his pass attempts. So the ball will fizzle around to Carpenter, who takes it inside, kicks out to Suggs for an open 3, and that will be missed, rebounded by Timmons. Now back to Baker.
Yak's going to be taking it up the court here.
So Yak now in control, out to Bailey. Bailey sizing up on Kiyaku.
Maslow gets the screen. He's going to drive inside on his left and gets the layup.
So Fuquay really coming back into this game as Suggs will take it up the court, make a move on Bailey, who kicks out to Carpenter. Carpenter's been quite quiet tonight, as he normally is one of your guys that are scoring double digits every game.
Yeah, Carpenter does have 1 3 on the night.
So Pugh not playing any defense quite at all, as Coach Cunningham will take his first time out. So this has been the Sports Block, and we'll be right back. So we're back after the timeout by Middle Creek as Fuquay really cutting the lead down, as once they were down by 25, now only down 9.
Yeah, after the series of plays from Sam Perez, I felt like Middle Creek felt like they had the game wrapped up in the bag. They had all the fans with them, and they had a 25-point lead, but Fuquay's done well to bring it back, and that momentum shift over to the Bengals.
So that will be a foul on number 21, Maslow, against Pugh. Only the third foul committed, I believe. Possibly second. But it will stay on the floor, and Suggs taking the ball out. Looks to Perez in the corner. Perez makes a move, but will kick it out, and the ball will end up back in Suggs' hands.
And it will be Fuquay ball, turnover. And that was forced by Caleb Timmons, a great job, and Fuquay just slowly decreasing this lead that Middle Creek has.
Yeah, I believe Suggs is starting to get frustrated there. He thought there was a foul and a couple of plays in the first half that were questionable, no calls, but let's hope that his temper doesn't get too hot and cost his team a technical.
So Perez making good moves up the court. Back to Perez, who will pivot his way and then get the alley-oop and one.
And that was a great cut back door by Brandon Kiaku. Good job by Sam Perez being able to find him and finishes it off with the foul and the points.
Yeah, Kiaku getting into double digits on that last play with now 10, shooting for 11.
So great play by Kiaku and Perez to have that connection. But Kiaku will be shooting one and converting.
Middle Creek back up to that 12-point double-digit lead that they didn't have for a little bit, but they've regained it.
So Bailey looking to bring it up the court, pass to Morrison. Morrison throwing it over his head, looking for the foul, but and he will get the foul. In fact,
that might be one of the worst attempts for a shot I've ever seen.
I think he's trying to draw the foul, and
he just did a 180 behind the back, but I mean,
I get
he
I
gets
get
the foul.
his
it
I
worked
get his
out the way he
intention,
wanted.
but a little ridiculous. But
can
he'll
make
go to the line
these.
for two. He will make his first shot. So he will be attempting two once again. And he'll miss a second. And it looked like it almost was rebounded by Maslow, but controlled by the Mustangs. Great move by Kiaku. Kiaku throwing it to the corner. The ball will be moved around all the way to Perez at the top of the key, and Perez will miss off the right side of the rim. But rebounded by Perez, who passes it out to Carpenter. And this ball is moving around greatly. And Kiaku going inside and getting the foul. So he will be going to the line for two.
And on a lot of these possessions, the Middle Creek are just moving the ball around the perimeter. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen Tyler Carpenter get rid of the ball when he's open. And maybe it's part of their game plan, but he's a really good shooter, and I think he needs to start taking those because we haven't really seen points from him since the first half. And for a guy that's scoring 15 points a game, I think he needs to step up and start taking some of those shots and be more selfish, honestly, with the ball.
Yeah, but overall, I think his teammates are helping with Kiaku with 11 and Perez with 8. They're helping, but like you said, Carpenter needs to show the player that he typically is.
So Baker being subbed out of the game after Kiaku making his first free throw attempt. Kaiser being subbed in. So Kiaku for his second attempt will be missed off the back iron, but he gets his own rebound, goes up once again and misses the layup, looking for a foul but didn't get it. So Yak has the ball, passes to Kaiser. Kaiser can't decide who to pass it to until it gets to Bailey, but that will be a missed corner three and an over the back call on Yak.
Yeah, when Kaiser got the ball there around the perimeter, almost didn't know what to do with it. He had two players right next to him, and it just didn't end up very well. He ended up giving it off to Bailey, but I think it gave Middle Creek more time to close in on Bailey for
sure.
the better defense on the play.
So Suggs taking it inside, and a bad pass will lead to another turnover. Suggs' second of the half.
And every time Middle Creek gives up a turnover, they're just allowing Fuquay to come back in this game. It's still a 12-point lead for the Mustangs, but they're just letting Fuquay edge back in it.
So Bailey controlling the ball at the top of the key, trying to make his move on Pugh, but a foul will be called against Suggs, on Morrison.
That's going to be Middle Creek's 4th foul of this quarter.
So that looks off Yak, and it in fact is. So the Middle Creek Mustangs are retaining possession of the ball.
Yeah, almost a forced pass there off the inbound. I don't think he needed to get rid of it that quick.
We're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, John. John, what do you have for us?
Well, Fuquay at the moment is improving on the court dangerously as it gets Middle Creek's worries a little up at the moment. Mustangs fine now after gaining multiple points, but over here in the Mustang bench, the players and the coaches were and still somewhat are not being calm, cool, collected about the opening of the 3rd quarter. We'll see what is to happen later in the game as we approach the 4th quarter in about 3 minutes. It's John Capreva, John reporting on the sideline. Back to you guys up there.
Hey, thanks, John. And he makes a great point that if Middle Creek can just stay calm and collective, then maybe they wouldn't put themselves in a situation where, although they're up 12, they really have blown a big lead and cut it all the way down to 12. And now number 21, Maslow, will get an and one play.
Suggs is looking for the charge there, but Maslow says no, and he gets that layup, and he's going to the line for an extra, bring it down to a single-digit lead.
So Maslow getting one shot off the M1 and will not convert, so rebounded by Perez to maintain a double-digit lead, and they will look to expand on that. As Carpenter passing the ball up to Perez, but a good pass up as Perez will score for 2.
And that was a good job by Carpenter. Instead of getting it off to someone in the perimeter, just drove it downside and found Perez.
So Kaiser for 3. It'll rim out. Good pass at the court to Pugh, and Quincy Pugh getting, I believe, his first points of the night, if I'm not mistaken. And then he will go back on the defensive end and work to get the ball back, but it'll stay with the Bengals as Morrison went up for the Odell Beckham catch.
Good job by Pugh, though, not letting him get that ball for any points, but forcing it out of bounds.
So Bailey controlling the ball out to Yak. Yak taking a 3, but it will rim out, rebounded by Morrison, and then over the back call will be made against Pugh. So
that will be the Mustangs' 6th foul tonight, so it will be an inbound from Morrison on Fuquay. Only 2 fouls away from getting to that 1-and-1 range for Fuquay. Fuquay has 5 fouls this quarter, where the Mustangs have 6.
Kaiser, another 3-point attempt, and that one will be another miss as Perez grabs yet another rebound, and Suggs will push the ball up the court and get 2 going all the way. So
a very good end-to-end drive by Suggs.
Exactly, yes.
Gives the Mustangs a 16-point lead.
So Perez almost with the block, but forced a miss, and then rebounded by Kaiser.
It looked to be a loose ball foul on Pugh.
That's a loose ball foul. So Kaiser going to the line for a 1-and-1, as this is the 7th foul on Middle Creek.
Checking in for the Mustang will be Tankowitz and St. Hill for Pugh and Perez.
So once again at the line for a 1-and-1 attempt. As he will miss the first free throw, and Tankowitz can't control the ball.
Yeah, it looked like a little awkward ball off of Tankowitz, and it's going to be an inbound. Looks like Colton Bailey's going to inbound it here with around 1:30 left in the quarter.
A foul called, I believe, on Tankowitz. So Tankowitz having quite enough a rough night with 2 turnovers, and I believe that's the 2nd foul called with no points to add on. But he's coming from a long line of a great family who's come through Middle Creek with 3 brothers coming before him, and Tom, Justin, and Ryan. Ryan going on to UNC Greensboro to play basketball, and Justin and Tom going on to play in their collegiate and also professional careers. So he has quite the legacy to carry, I guess.
He can say he is the only Tankowitz to wear these new Under Armour jerseys.
Right. Middle Creek getting all new Under Armour jerseys, both for football and basketball this year. So quite an upgrade from their old jerseys. But a lane violation is called against, I believe, the Mustangs, as Maslow's getting another chance at a free throw attempt.
And I think this is actually his second free throw of a 1-and-1. I just don't think the players realized that that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
So they might have went out of the lane not realizing he had another one.
Right.
And that led to the 2 free throws made by Maslow.
Okay,
so
that makes a lot more sense.
Thank you for clarifying.
So Suggs guarded hard by Bailey, but will move the ball around the perimeter. Now back to Carpenter. Carpenter taking the 3, and it will miss. But rebounded by Suggs. Suggs taking the layup, wanting the foul call, not getting it. Another rebound, and this time does get the foul call.
Suggs showing great athleticism on that last possession. Now he's at the line shooting 2.
Yeah, very good 2 offensive rebounds there by Suggs. And, yeah, like you said, going to the line.
So Suggs here for his first attempt. Decent free throw shooter.
Number 2, Ray will check in. Scratch
Ray
that.
possibly checking in for Therius Suggs, who is currently the shooter, as he makes both, and now will be subbed out of the game. So Suggs really showing a lot in the game. Although with a couple turnovers, he's really had a great impact on this offense and defense.
And both teams have done a lot better shooting from the free throw line. For the past 4 times, I think every free throw has been made.
So Bailey missing Timmons on the breakaway layup, but nevertheless, Yak gets inside and will finish off of the putback.
Yeah, I will say that Fuquay, when we first started the broadcast, they were off to a rough start with multiple turnovers and the ball going out of bounds, the traveling, but they seem to have gotten that halftime adjustment and has made a difference in this ball game.
Bailey playing good defense on Kiyaku, forcing the pass in the corner, and Carpenter looking like he's okay. So it would actually be a timeout by Cunningham. So Middle Creek up 44-30, and we'll be right back with the sports block. So we're back with the sports block once again, as Middle Creek will retain possession after the timeout. St. Hill will be the inbounder.
Middle Creek with Tankowitz, Kiyaku, Ray, Carpenter, and St. Hill on the court.
So St. Hill in control of the ball, and we'll move it to Kiyaku, who makes a move on street, but will give it up to Ray. As Fuquay coming out playing his own defense, as Kiyaku will break that defense, cut inside, misses layup, but will grab the rebound. Rebounding being a big issue for Fuquay tonight, as Middle Creek getting a lot of second opportunities here in the second half especially.
Middle Creek
So
looking
Tankowitz
to
with the ball now.
possibly hold the ball till the end of the quarter, but St. Hill looking to drive and is going to turn the ball over. So Fuquay will mostly have the last shot of the quarter with 7.5 seconds left to go.
A little too much passing, it seems, as someone just needs to go up and take the shot, especially against this defense, as you don't want to offend anyone, but this weak Fuquay defense has been proven. But Yak going inside, looking to score 2, but we call for the foul with only half a second left in the quarter.
The Middle Creek defense looked a little shaky there, almost as if they were waiting for a 3 to end off the quarter, but Yak just saw the opportunity with no one inside and got the easy foul.
So Wolyak at the line for 2. His third trip to the line. And he's now 2 for 5, making his first 2, missing his last 3.
Yeah, those first 2 free throws he made were perfect, and since then we just haven't seen anything close to that. But he does make it.
So now 50% on the game.
Have a
As Tankwitz
second
passes
two.
in to Ray. And Ray will lob it from half and miss it. But for some of our thoroughbred sponsors, the Butcher's Market, the go-to butcher shop in the Triangle for premium meats and specialty grocery. Fritz Orthodontics, offering outstanding orthodontic care for the entire family. The Removal Company can haul your junk and debris, anything, anywhere, anytime.
And representing the third quarter, the Stallion and Colt sponsors of the night, Southwake Oral Surgery, delivering the finest state-of-art oral surgical care possible every day to every patient. And from oil changes to engine replacement, they fix all makes and models from Christian's Brothers Automotive, the Colt and Stallion sponsors of the third quarter.
And we're back for the start of the fourth period as Middle Creek still holds a commanding lead, not as big as it was previously, but 44-31 they lead. As Kaiser holding the ball, swinging it to Street. Street looking to make a move on the 6'6" Perez. And number 21 with the shot, but a great rebound by Timmons. And a lay-in for Yak will be missed.
And Middle Creek just going to try to hold this ball longer for the fourth quarter with a 13-point lead. They're just going to want to make sure they can run down the clock with the lead they have.
So Suggs with another suspect pass, almost leading to another turnover. But the ball will be moved to Perez, now back to Suggs. So he'll move inside. And a three-pointer will be missed by Kiyaku. As Kaiser will dribble the ball up the court and shoot a three-pointer, and that will be missed. And he has now missed all of his three-point attempts, as he had made 3 in his previous game just 24 hours ago versus Holly Springs.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best night for Kaiser, but now is the time to turn it around if he wants to do so. They still have time to bring this game back.
So Suggs slowing the ball down a little bit as he'll move the ball around the perimeter a little bit to Carpenter now. Now back to Suggs. Suggs passing it to Carpenter again. Carpenter, deep three. And it'll be missed off the right side of the rim. Rebound to number 21, Maslow. Up the court to Street for the easy layup.
That'll be an 11-point game. Couple of bad shots on Middle Creek's end. Tyler Carpenter just hasn't been his best tonight. He's missed a couple of threes in a row.
And Carpenter not playing last night, a healthy scratch. But you hope to get people in the groove once again, as Suggs will airball a three-point attempt. Not many times you'll see that, as he is an exceptional three-point shooter. But
The second group is coming in for Middle Creek.
But actually, I believe a timeout will be called, so we're going to go to break. You've been listening to the Sports Block. So now we're back in the fourth period of this game with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go, as Baker will be inbounding the ball. Bengals still down 11 points, but doable enough for a comeback, as Perez actually gets another steal on the night.
Yeah, and that pass by Baker to Maslow up the court was just really never going to work out.
Street with a strip on Suggs, and he will finish for 2. He has 4 straight now, but Suggs looks to push the ball to respond quickly, slow it down a little bit. In fact, pass to Kyaku, who will go to Perez, now to Carpenter. Carpenter getting trapped up, now passing the ball out to Suggs. And he is being played tightly by Street.
It looks like it might be a foul against Street.
They will be calling the foul against Street. It will be a one-on-one for Suggs, as they're both getting a little physical. Street getting physical in this game.
Yeah, and these are the free throws that you really need to make right now. With only around 6 minutes left in the game and only a 9-point lead, Middle Creek and Suggs really need to make sure they can make these one-and-ones.
So Suggs making his first free throw. I believe he is 3 for 3 on the night now. And he will be going to the line for another attempt. But like you said, it's really important for these free throws to fall, because Middle Creek doesn't have a lot of room to give up for Fuquay. But Coach Cunningham deciding to take the timeout before Fuquay can even inbound the ball. So you've been listening to the Sports Block, and we'll be right back. So we're returning to this great game for Middle Creek, as they're looking to get their first win at home against rival Fuquay Bengals. But Fuquay looking to put up a fight here, as Yak going up the court against Carpenter, and will draw the foul to go back to the free throw line. Will Yak looking to get his 4th and 5th free throws on the night, as he's visited the free throw line now 4 times.
And not only would this be Middle Creek's first win of the season, it would be a great way to start off their conference play with a 1-0 record. Fuquay, unfortunately for them, lost by almost 40 points last night in their first conference game, so they don't want to drop another one, but Middle Creek would love to get a win here.
So Yak making a second free throw. And Suggs bringing the ball up the court. As I imagine Middle Creek not looking to push the pace as much here, but will score on as many opportunities as they can get. But that will not help, as number 21, Maslow.
And the whole Fuquay student section is just looking for a foul there. Maslow's hand slapped the backboard. I don't know if he's looking for a foul or goaltending.
I believe they think Maslow, when he went up for the layup, they are calling the tech against Middle Creek, or maybe possibly Maslow. It's kind of hard to tell. But it's for the going to slap the backboard off the miss. But the Fuquay coaches quite upset with that call. Coach Strong especially, as he's talking to the ref right now about the call, which I believe, from my perspective at least, that it looked like a defensive goaltending.
Yeah, in my eyes too, from the way it looked, it almost seemed as if Middle Creek had hit the backboard.
Yeah.
Because it would have been an unusual play to see the Fuquay player.
I mean, obviously they have the better angle, but
exactly.
it's really hard to tell.
It will end up with Suggs getting a free throw, no one around. And he will make it.
Suggs now 5 for 5 on his free throws tonight, which has really been a big thing for Middle Creek, as they now have a double-digit lead once again. And he will make his second one.
That last free throw will give him 10 points on the night. Overall, very, very good. Three Middle Creek guys in double digits with Kyaku, Suggs, and Perez.
A great showing, especially by the young guys here, and even by the veteran guys in Kyaku, a 4-year varsity player. So a legal screen against St. Hill will put the ball back in Fuquay's hands. And just one of those things that you can't really do, especially in this situation. Not a great, or I should say, not a smart play by St. Hill, but I'm sure that he won't make the same mistake twice.
And with 5 minutes left in this game, Middle Creek's got that 11-point lead. We've seen them around 11-point lead for the most of this fourth quarter. And
are they? It's tough to tell. It looks like they may be calling a 3-second violation, or possibly a.
I believe they called a 3-second.
That would be the best explanation. It's hard to tell from this angle, but
Wheeler will be checked in for St. Hill. Wheeler is also a sophomore, getting some quality playing time on varsity.
and Wheeler, a full-time JV player last year, a good shooter, and has a lot of room to build on. As Kyaku will be blocked, but it will stay with Middle Creek. You know, it's tough for Kyaku because he really is a great finisher around the rim, but using like his small size is kind of tough against larger defenders. But nevertheless, it will stay with Middle Creek, as number 30, Sam Perez, shooting at another three-pointer, as he has missed almost all of them.
And a very good Euro step by Street. Gets 2 points and brings the lead down to 9 for the Mustangs.
Like I was saying, Perez really struggling from the three-point line tonight, something that he normally is exceptional at. And Suggs with yet another turnover, giving this Fuquay team life, which is just something that they really can't do right now.
Yeah, and Sam Perez, I think a lot of people can agree, one of the best players on this team and in the conference. We just haven't seen very much of him ever since the second quarter when that set of plays happened, but he really needs to get in the gear in these last 4 minutes. Middle Creek wants to hold on.
Yeah, I personally believe he was the sole spark in that 23-0 run. But
yeah, for sure.
As of now, he does have 10 points. But overall, they're going to need him later in this game.
So a good pass out to Carpenter. Carpenter being very passive, as normally you'd see him make that or shoot that three-point shot and make it, as he had set the Middle Creek three-point record last year, making, I believe, what is 8 threes in one game. So you expect for a guy like that to shoot the ball as many times as he can, but Suggs now the inbounder for Middle Creek.
Yeah, and Carpenter not playing last night, not doing his best tonight, might have a little lower confidence than usual, but he needs to regain that in these last couple minutes.
And from my personal experience right now, it's this sequence of plays by Fuquay is starting to look like the end of the second quarter, where Middle Creek is struggling to maintain the ball and turnovers costing them.
So Perez with a good move inside. I believe he has 12 now. But Baker taking the deep three, and that will go on top of the basket. So that will be out of bounds.
And I think the three balls where the Bengals have really struggled tonight. You don't see them making a lot of threes. We've seen Baker and Kaiser attempt a lot, but nothing's really been falling for them.
Yeah, it's hard to think back of a time when Fuquay actually made a three-pointer this game. Mainly their points are coming straight off either free throws or layups. Carpenter passing the ball up to Kyaku, and this has been a really strange game. Just watching Carpenter pass the ball up as many times as he can really get.
Yeah, and every time he's getting the ball, he's just passing it off with ease, almost as knowing he's going to pass it off before.
Very strange and unlike him to do such a thing. Yeah, as he brings the ball up the court now.
I believe it's an unselfish confidence. I don't believe his confidence is as high as he has been struggling from the three-point line.
Yeah, I'm sure after not playing last night, it's tough for just him to come back and play with this team after a pretty long break.
I agree.
But Suggs will retain the ball and get a screen from Perez. Perez will move off the ball.
Just under 2.5 minutes to go. Mustangs have a 9-point lead.
Fuquay now applying some pressure as they realize that Middle Creek is holding the ball. But Wheeler in the corner will make his first shot of the night.
And that's a big three from Logan Wheeler, gives the Mustangs a 12-point lead, and that just might be the icing on the cake.
It might be. It's tough to see this Fuquay team come back, especially with the struggling offense, which you never know, but I guess we'll find out when we come back from this timeout. You've been listening to the Sports Block, and we'll be right back. So Middle Creek back on the floor as they still maintain a 12-point lead with a little over 2 minutes to go in this fourth period. So Middle Creek making a couple good shots to end their drought. As Fuquay's played an exceptional second half compared to Middle Creek. But Street taking the pull-up jumper, and
that's going to bring it in with a 10.
Yeah, a 10-point lead only now. But Wheeler getting the ball in the corner yet again, but missing this time. Rebounded by Perez. Perez has been great all night on the boards.
Yeah, Perez with 6 rebounds on the night.
Yeah, that's a big rebound for Perez. It allows the Mustangs to just let this time tick, and with the 10-point lead, they got to be feeling comfortable, but they want to make sure they don't have those turnovers that we saw late in the third quarter.
Timmons guarding Suggs really hard. Suggs will eventually draw the foul from Baker. Baker, a 3-year varsity player. He's one of those guys that Fuquay has relied on for the past few years, but it's been tough for him to just really score tonight and make an impact on the game. As Therius Suggs going to the line for 2.
Mustangs up 53-43, or 137 left in this game. Suggs, these are 2 big free throws, wants to make sure he can put these away. If not, Fuquay, they have enough time if they can hit their shots to bring this game back. It is going to be tough, but these free throws are going to be a massive impact.
So he will miss his first free throw, but he will get a steal, and that's huge for Middle Creek. But the ref is trying to communicate that it was 2 shots.
Yeah, I don't think it was a 1-on-1 scenario because that they are at 9 fouls. And we'll see what is going to happen.
No, and because it's only 9 fouls, they're not in that bonus plus, so it should have just been a 1-and-1.
Right.
Okay,
if
so
Fuquay were to get the free throw, it would be in the bonus. They would get 2 shots, but they're not at 10 fouls yet. Fuquay isn't.
So Suggs, one of those sophomores out of that loaded sophomore class from Middle Creek, and he's had a good game as well. As Perez will pass it in, looking for Wheeler, but a foul will be called against Timmons. And Timmons not agreeing with the call, but nevertheless, Wheeler will go to the line for 2.
And that was definitely unintentional on Timmons. He was going for the steal on Wheeler, but because Wheeler missed the ball, his arms came down on him and leads to the foul.
So Wheeler making his first free throw of the night, now with 4 points, and has an opportunity to get his 5th right here, which he does not, as it rolled it off the back rim. And Fuquay really needs to push this ball up the court if they expect on getting back in this game, which they caused an immediate turnover. The Mustangs do.
Yeah, Colton Bailey wasn't able to hold onto the ball there. Mustangs do have the ball now, and a pretty weak press by Fuquay, and it's going to lead to a foul on Suggs. He's going to get 2 free throws this time.
That foul will be on Maslow, and as Charlie said, 10 fouls now for both teams. So both teams are now in the bonus plus, which means either team fouls one another, then the other team will get 2 free throw shots regardless. So Middle Creek really looking to get their first win here tonight with only 1:25 left in this fourth period. as Suggs stays perfect on the night, 7 for 7 on his free throw attempts.
Yeah, and in a lot of games in this score range of around 10 points, you're going to see a very stretched out end of the fourth quarter, just because the team coming back is going to want to foul, but they almost know it's really tough to get, but they just want to have a chance to get in this game.
Yeah, Ruiz will check in for Wheeler.
So Suggs missing his first free throw of the night. But Fuquay looking a little too patient here, but now Baker will try the three and airball it. Not a great sign for the Bengals if they were attempting a comeback, to which I'm sure they were, but
Maslow attempted to bring that ball in,
right.
but going over the back of Sam Perez, there was really no chance. Sam Perez will be inbounding the ball here. The referee's going to have a quick chat with the head coach of Fuquay.
I believe it's a scratch probably on Maslow's arm.
Yeah, I do see it on his right wrist.
So
Gonna need to take him out, and Colton Bailey will check in for him.
Yeah, little blood coming off of Maslow. We will also see a substitution for Middle Creek. Jonathan Ray will be coming on for Ruiz.
So Perez to inbound. Just hoping to get the ball in here, as Kiaku will be fouled almost immediately by Baker.
And Fuquay, it's been a couple, maybe 3-4 straight possessions with fouling Middle Creek, and it's just not going to be able to work out all night if they're having to foul, and because Middle Creek's done a good job making their free throws.
Assuming Middle Creek does hold on to the lead and carries out the victory, it's been an overall great team win. I mean, you have 3 guys in double digits. Pugh with 6, Wheeler with 4, you got Kiaki with 11, Suggs with 11, Perez with 12. Overall, they've done very good.
A good team effort.
A good team effort and a very good job of sharing the basketball.
So Kiaku to add on to his total.
And one of the takeaways of that scoreline is just how well the Mustang underclassmen have done tonight. You see Perez, Pugh doing a great job. Also Suggs, just because we haven't seen as much from Tyler Carpenter as we do usual, so those sophomores and juniors have had to pick up their pace.
Coming into the season, they expected a lot of those 2 seniors in Kiaku and Carpenter, but not getting as much production from Carpenter tonight. But the sophomore trio of Pugh, Suggs, and Perez have really carried this team to what looks like a victory tonight.
Yeah, overall, the sophomore class tonight has combined for 33 points, which is more than half of their team total.
Yeah, a good confidence booster for this team. As Middle Creek moving on to, I believe, what is 1-4 now in the season, but they will be undefeated in conference play after tonight, 1-0, which is always positive for a team.
Yeah, and after this game, the Mustangs next week are going to have to travel to one of the toughest competition in the conference in Holly Springs. We saw this Fuquay team lose to Holly Springs of almost 40 points last night, so we're going to hope to see the Mustangs perform well in Holly Springs, but it might be a tough one.
Yeah, Holly Springs with a great overall team with good guard play, and then Virginia commit at center. And it surely will be a tough game, but Middle Creek should just focus on just getting this win and just celebrate getting this win, I guess.
And that's going to be an and one for Yak. You don't see much celebration about it due to the score of the game, but
Yeah, Fuquay being pretty talkative all night, their bench and their crowd, which they always travel well.
yeah, and you do have to give respect to the Bengals tonight. You see a lot of them in the away student section, but unfortunately they're just pretty much all out of the game now.
So this looks like it might be the last possession of the game unless a foul is to occur.
Colton Bailey really trying to get a steal on Suggs, but he's just not going to let that happen.
So Middle Creek just moving the ball around now with 16 seconds left now. Not looking to score at all, it seems, but they will dribble the ball out.
Colton Bailey does force the ball to go out on Perez.
So Perez to inbound with just 7 seconds left.
Mustangs will go to 1-4 on the season and 1-0 in conference. Fuquay is going to fall to 1-5 on the season and 0-2 in conference.
So a great win by this Mustangs team. We'll be back on Tuesday for another broadcast, but before we go, we have some thoroughbred sponsors to mention. The Butcher's Market, the go-to butcher shop and the triangle for premium meats and specialty grocery. Fritz Orthodontics, offering outstanding orthodontic care for the entire family. The Removal Company, can haul your junk and debris, anything, anywhere, anytime. So thank you for joining us tonight, and we look to see you on Tuesday. So I'm Griff Barlow with
Charlie Reeder.
And I'm Harrison Eaton.
and we'll see you soon.